Hello everyone, welcome back to Appletree Surfboards HQ. My name is Wieger. I'm co-founder of Appletree Surfboards, and today we're going to talk about the differences between the Slice V2 and the Jazz wingboards that we have. We get asked this question all the time because right now we have two wingboards that we both have in a full range in our lineup. So what are the key differences between those two? Well, I've got two here which are roughly the same size, so they're both around 60 liters. In case of this Jazz, it's 62.5 liters, and the Slice V2 that I have back here, what I'll grab later, is a 60 liter. So it's really nice to have both in a similar size, so you can see the differences up close. So before, Appletree Surfboards only had one wingboard in the range, which was the Slice V1, which worked really well for a long time, but winging as a sport has developed super quickly. It's developing in a lot of different directions, and we felt the need to split up the range in boards for the specific needs of specific riders. So what we've done, we've made the Slice V2 and the Jazz. Now, first of all, the Jazz is the board I've got here. It's more of a freestyle oriented board, but it's not a pure freestyle board. That's an important one. The main difference is that it's shorter and it's a bit wider, and the bottom contour is also a bit wider, so it's a wider platform. This works really well when you're trying to land your tricks because it sort of naturally bounces back up. But at the same time, a wider bottom and a flatter bottom also gives you a more effective planing, so it gets you up to speed quicker, consequently up the foil quicker. So it's a really important one. In the bigger sizes, so like the 90 liter and the 75 liter Jazzes, there are really nice light wind boards as well. So they double really nicely in that. In the smaller sizes, they are more for advanced riders, but still the boards are really easy to ride. So for instance, for myself personally, I tend to ride this 62.5 liter 4.8 that I've got here as my go-to board for when the winds are sort of over 60 knots. I can easily still ride this board. It comes up to the surface super quickly because for me this is a sinking board, and then it's up onto foil really quickly. Now, a couple of design features in this board. So as you can see, it's got this really nice flat bottom with a straight tail running behind the foil boxes. The boxes are placed a little bit further back than on the other board, which we'll see later, mainly because most of the freestyle riders tend to ride their foil a little bit further back because it's easier to keep under control when you're a bit more forward on your foil. On the front here, you see it's really soft and it's pretty wide, running into a harder bevel on the edge, but the bevel is really far to the side, effectively making the bottom of the board wider. So you get that really nice wide platform. Nice handle in the bottom. You can see from the side, it's a really rounded shape. And as you can also clearly see in this view, is that the wide point is quite far forward, which really helps when you're coming down a landing, because it has most of the width under your front foot, so that it naturally bounces you back off. On the deck, we've got this nice recess in here. Now, the recess is important in our wingboards because what it does, it keeps the standing area where your feet are placed absolutely at 90 degrees or parallel to the foil boxes. At the same time, because this area here on the front is recessed, we can slightly lift the rocker of the rest of the board. So you have to see it as like the rest of the board's been lifted around this recess. This gets the rocker slightly up, so when you touch down again, it wants to push you back up. Comes with all the insert positions that you want. Single in the back, and then in the front here you've got these options of having a Y, having a straight, having sort of a cross for one foot. So whatever you prefer, you can accommodate on the Jazz. Now let's go Slice. So here we have the Slice. In this case it's a 60 liter Slice, which means 4.9. Now this 4.9 is 23 inches wide, where the 4.8 Jazz that we looked at earlier is 24 inches. So it's a whole inch longer and an inch narrower to get to the same kind of volume. So it's a very different idea of a board. As you can see here, the bevel is much more pulled in. So the board has got more of a slightly boat hull shape. And then it features the same bottom that has this straight outline, but the foil boxes are slightly more forward. Most of the guys that ride this board want to do a bit more racing and a bit more wave riding, where you don't need all that width. It's nicer to have a narrower board so you can actually see the wave, you have less risk of the rail hitting the wave. And if the rail does hit the wave, it tends to hit this bevel first, so it bounces back up, where the Jazz is more rounded and the bevel's more pulled out to the side. This one is way more pulled in. Downside, of course, is that if you have a narrower platform, it's slightly less efficient. So for what I tend to do, the same conditions that I ride the 62 liter Jazz in, I tend to ride a 70 liter Slice to get the same kind of feel. So they're not one-on-one comparable size for size. So that's a key difference there. Furthermore, if we look at the board, you can see the nose is pretty much pulled in as well, so it doesn't have that rounded nose. It's got a bit of a sort of a displacement hull in the front, and then it's got the similar kind of sunken deck, so recessed deck as the Jazz has. It's just a little less pronounced. Has the same reason, same purpose, where it sort of levels out. It gets your standing area toward the foil on a 90 degree, and at the same time, again, we can lift that rocker a little bit. Sort of same thing happening on the tail, straight off tail, super efficient. The insert positions are the same, so we've got all the same options. The only difference is this also has an offset on the tail, so you can have one straight or one insert slightly offset. This does help if you, like me, I always ride in the same position, so I'm a regular rider, so my left foot is forward, so I will have a cross strap in the front, and then in the back I'll have it slightly off-centered, and the reason for this is that I can actually have my back foot really over the middle of the foil, because if you're only on the middle, your back foot is usually slightly off-center, which makes it harder to initiate turns when wave riding. So that's why these extra inserts come on this board as a standard feature. So yeah, hopefully that shows you a bit of the differences between the Slice V2 and the Jazz. If you've got any questions, always feel free to call us or email us. Our details are on the website. Leave a comment down below if you like this video, and comment on what you want to see more. And hope to see you in the next Tech Talk video. Cheers.